and shoot this film?
So we shot in Uttarakhand, all over Uttarakhand. It's magical. I mean, it's the Himalayas. The Himalayas themselves like lend themselves effortlessly to the genre of magic realism. You know, because they're an ancient place, and as these characters said, ये तो एक पवित्र धरती है, कुछ प्राचीन आत्मा है. Sorry, my Hindi is not great, but I tried. You know, so that place is special. So yeah, we went to the mountains. We went to find the most soulful corners of Uttarakhand. And yes, we all just camped out there in the middle of nowhere and like made this film.
And did the journey of this film begin from some story you heard as a child that stayed with you and that you felt like you just kept going back to over and over, over and over?
Well, this idea of like where do we really belong is something that I always felt, you know, even as an infant, that we looking around at the world.
As an infant?
You know, like an inner journey that could lead to something expansive, something. But there's a little bit of shedding that needs to take place. And while the film is about many things, the layer that I connect to perhaps the most is the layer of the allegory, the layer of the fable, where as you detach and you shed, there is something greater waiting. There's an inner light that can shine, you know, and that's what the film means to me.
Now, before I throw it to your actors, one more question. All the characters have divine names. Dev, Mohan, Nandini, Juju, Vanya, Keshav, Radha. Talk to me about naming all these actors. They're all divine. They're all connected to like a spirituality, a higher being.
Yeah, and there are like several towns in the place. There's Ajnapur for the Ajna Chakra, there's Sahastal for the Sahasradhara, which is the top chakra. There's Mulgaon for the Muladhara. So I've snuck a lot of like philosophy into it very subtly. It's not meant to like stand out. But yes, and there's a song sung which is Shivoham. And there's another song sung which is Neharva. So where do we belong? And a sense of hope. Like if you go into that question of where do we belong, it ends with hope and it ends with joy. That's the undercurrent. Wrapped into a magical and suspenseful and mysterious sort of story that this wonderful cast just brought to life. I swear to God, what I wrote on my page was dead, and they brought it to life. The film is what it is because of them.
First shot, without cut take, and I've seen the film now. This is my third viewing of the film, and that shot doesn't. Like I just smile every time. The second he jumps off, the film completely changes. The film starts and it completely changes. Talk to me about approaching this character. जो ये हमें पता भी नहीं है अच्छा आदमी है कि बुरा आदमी है. We're always sort of changing with him, but then there's also some divinity to him. Also, he can fly. Also, it's a very complicated, complex character.
Yes, but this is the stage I was in when he offered it to me. I was completely finding myself in a place where I really didn't know what to do with myself. Is this the thing that I want to do? Keep doing the same routine, or I should just get out of it? And that was the space I was in when Ram came to me, and I think my own circumstances, mental and spiritual circumstances, somewhere helped me to really deal with such a complicated, at the same time a very spiritual kind of a role. I will tell you the incident. Before I could join the team, both of us decided to meet in Kachidham, and he brought some parathas with him in the car, and we decided to go to Mahatar Baba's cave together. And we were climbing, it was raining, we went inside, we meditated, and we came outside, it was all snow, it was all white, and both of us looked at each other and said, we found it, we found Dev there. That was the moment I felt that I found Dev, I found the soul of Dev, of my character. This is exactly what I followed, क्योंकि क्या है कि आदमी जूझता रहता है और आप एक रूटीन में चलते रहते हैं, and suddenly एक समय ऐसा आता है जहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि is this the same thing I'm going to do all my life, or there's something else to it. एंड मेरे लिए ये था कि मैं उस समय में वही सारी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट से गुजर रहा था. So for me, that really helped me to understand the conflict and the struggle Dev is actually going through. He was making wings in the beginning of the film, and everything gets disrupted. He gets sucked into all over again into the daily routine of the life, attachment. He wants to detach himself. The more he's trying, more he's getting sucked into it. The frustration, the struggle, the conflict is only getting intense and intense. Finally, when he gets an answer, then this is where the film ends for me.
It's so mundane because before you meet Dave, you can hear him brushing his teeth.
Right.
So that's like, he's doing a mundane activity in the morning.
Right.
It's a normal day. He's putting moisturizer. You're wondering कि कंधे पे कौन लगाता है moisturizer? पर लगा रहा है बंदा तो.
Right.
And you're walking and then he jumps off and okay, what? What? Priyanka, Nandini is is also a very as a character of many conflicts because she's oppressed also, but she's also oppressor because she's she is the malkin of the house, but she's also like जब पति बोले घर पैक करके निकल लो उसको निकलना पड़ेगा, जब पति बोले आज खाना बना के खिला दो उसको खिलाना पड़ेगा. Talk to me about crafting Nandini with Ram.
I had many obviously conflicting views. I always do. It's always that layered thing about the woman's role and the man's role, and I feel like we've discussed it. We've had a conflict about it and things like that. But it's also the nature of the 90s. It's how we have grown up seeing our women actually in a way, not the oppressed, not the oppressor, but somewhere in between. Like my conversations with my mother, I remember that we didn't have any choice. This was given to us, and this was the role we had to play. And that rings very, very true. And but in her own way, I mean, she was obviously leading that entire thing, and also the demographic. You see the entire class system, how she looks at the hawkers walking by and everything. So it's just something. It's so these nuances that you grow up with. It's there, and it's in the deliverance, and it's in the storytelling. You cannot take that away. I'm just very honored that we actually got to tell an honest story, and also the fact that he never really suppressed my views or self-expression in that way, even when I had that conflict. And and like Manoj said, his spiritual journey and everything. But we were working after COVID. Like my schedule was after COVID. So for me, it was also very special to just get out of home and do what we love doing. And that was, in fact, a very spiritual thing. I've always had conflicting ideas about religion and spirituality, and this brings that home for me in some way.
I love the shot where in घर के बाहर पूजा के झाड़ियों में आग लगी है. She goes, wakes up her husband, and he comes out and he's chopping, and she's sitting drinking chai. Just like watching him, like in some way, like she's also sort of happy that he's suffering.
So I'll tell you the truth. Maybe women are, there's something I read, and I, again, is something I'm observing in myself. That women don't know how to soothe themselves. They only know how to soothe themselves through something else, nurturing someone else, something else. So this is a way, like, her drinking her tea is to just soothe her nervous system, watching her husband play his role of the provider and the protector. So that was my, thing in my head.
And also in that same shot, suddenly the camera moves inside the house, and so you're expecting to see Dave from her point of view, but suddenly you're inside the house, so the audience is getting it. Anyway, I'm not critiquing this from here right now. Deepak, talk to me about Mohan. Mohan मेरा सबसे favorite character, और बहुत सारे लोगों में यहाँ पे सबसे favorite character निकलेगा ये तो देखो. Mohan, जैसे राम की फिल्म में कोई background music नहीं है, बहुत silences हैं और sound का बहुत बढ़िया use है, and sound का बहुत बढ़िया use मोहन के through पे, because you are acting in a lot of silences. A lot of your scenes are reacting to what Dev is saying, reacting to your surroundings, looking at things. Especially वो जब देव आपको बोलते हैं कि अब ताला मार के जाना, और इसी मोहन के बारे में बताएं, कैसे आपने इसे क्रिएट किया? मोहन की जो आवाज आपने दो आवाजें निकाली हैं,
मतलब ये है कि 40 साल बाद फिर से 35 साल बाद कहानी सुना रहा है, तो उस समय ऑलरेडी 45-50 का है, तो 85 मान लो यार,
80-85 साल का
है ना। और पहाड़ियों की जो आवाज़ है वहाँ पे रहते हैं, वो जल्दी और शुरू हो जाती है ना, वो बहुत स्मोक करते हैं इन वजहों से, तो बहुत वैसे हो जाती है। ये जो मेरे बड़े दादाजी थे वो इस तरह का कुछ बात करते थे, जब वो बहुत ओल्ड थे तो वो उनका तो वो रहता था उनका, तो मैंने कहा यहाँ एंड कई चीज़ों में मैं बोल रहा था, ये राम भाई से मैंने उनको वो बोला था, उन्होंने बड़ी जल्दी से वो समझे उस चीज़ को, तो बड़ा प्यारा सा एक एक्सप्रेशन निकल के आया। और पहाड़ों का हूँ तो बड़ी हैरानी इस बात की हुई कि हम लोग जो पहाड़ों के हैं या जिस जगह के, वो सोचते हैं कि हम पहाड़ों को ज़्यादा जानते हैं, फंसा हुआ है हमें, लेकिन राम ने जिस तरह से पहाड़ों को देखा है, हमें फिर से हैरत हो गई कि भाई ये सिनेमा वाले अलग तरह से देख लेते पहाड़ों, है ना।
आप भी सिनेमा वाले ही हो, मतलब
बट डायरेक्शन का अलग होता है, डायरेक्शन, राइटिंग, ये जो है कैमरा मैन, ये तीन लोग जो है ना, ये जो ढूंढते हैं पत्तियों के नीचे क्या है, सरसराहट क्या है,
सुनील बोरकर पत्तियों के नीचे,
ये सब लोग जो है। और मतलब ये फिल्म मैं तीसरी चौथी बार देखा हूँ, और उसमें ये था कि आज का जो मेरा नजरिया था वो ये था कि ये डाउट किस पे जा रहा है, कौन जला सकता है, ये भी जला सकते हैं, देव खुद जला सकते हैं, जब वो उड़ के जा रहे हैं तो उधर आग लगा दी और उड़ के इधर आ गए, ऐसा भी हो सकता है, वो नौकर भी लगा सकता है, कोई भी लगा सकता है। तो आज का जो फिल्म देखने का नजरिया था वो उस तरह का है। और यार मोहन के उसमें ये था कि मुझे ये था कि यार मैं पहाड़ बस जाए मेरे पे, मैं एक्टिंग ना करूँ, एक्टिंग ना करनी पड़े कहीं भी। तो जहाँ जहाँ भी लग रहा था कि थोड़ी सी तैयारी लग रही है, तो थोड़ा सा कोफ्त हो रही थी, नहीं यार और कुछ मास्टरी चाहिए, और बारीकियाँ चाहिए, और डिटेलिंग चाहिए, कि वो तैयारी ना दिखे।
आप सेट पे एक ड्राइवर को शायद शैडो कर रहे थे ना?
जी वो तो हो गया था, वो तो पिछली बार का हमारा वो राम और मेरा बड़ा प्यारा सा किस्सा है।
पता चला गलत ड्राइवर को शैडो कर,
जी हाँ, वो वाला बहुत टाइम बाद जब 85% फिल्म कंप्लीट हो गई, तब मुझे पता चला कि असल मोहन जी कौन है। तो फिर भी नहीं, लेकिन राम ने बड़ा कंट्रोल करके मैनेज कर लिया, उस मोहन को वो मोहन नहीं होने दिया।
You told me, but बाद में पता चला कि मैं तो किसी और को शैडो कर रहा था। Wonderful. तो लोग को माइक देंगे, Radha, like to what Deepak just said, you look at somebody and you feel like you become pahad, you become the space that you're in, and Radha is that. I love that, it's such a small part, but how you filled her with love. There's so much love in her for the little baby in her lap, for her 2 sons, for her husband, for the area that she lives in, for her home, her neighbors. Talk to me about filling Radha with that love.
Thank God we get to play such characters now, because in real life, I wish I was like that with everybody. But I would love to. I would really love to. But love is, I don't know, it's priceless. And it's nice to just embody a part like that. And I think it was written. It's all written in the script that Ram has written. And you see the people around you. There's a gentleness, a generosity, a kindness, which I mean, it's easy to act it out for a few moments, but to live with that kind of kindness, and it's hard watching it, because like, oh, you're so nice in the film, but it really reflects, I think, not to romanticize the simple life. But this is my first time watching the film, and I just, it's such a cruel, complex race, and it's. I'm just taking in the film, and I want to say that for Radha's character, the person who helped me a lot is this wonderful woman called Deepa, and she helped me with the dialect. she on over phone calls because Suchita, I don't really have a command over any language, having grown up all over India. So my Hindi itself, my Bangla, my English, everything is such a hodgepodge. So I felt like Deepa really anchored me without, because I didn't want to make a caricature of a certain, and the story was so important to Ram, the story that, Radha tells. And so I'm really, really grateful for, Ram knowing that Deepa would be the right person. And I think it's these small things that just really helped me. Because it was just that story, no? Deepa helped me find that voice. And
how is it to see yourself on the big screen in 16 mm?
हाँ बहुत वही लगा था कितनी प्यारी इंसान है ये और हम ऐसे मतलब एक्टिंग करते हैं तो लाइफ में क्यों नहीं कर सकते हैं ये
तो इसीलिए तो एक्टिंग कहते हैं उसको
हाँ इसीलिए एक्टिंग
But listen, it's a gift to watch you on screen every single time and everything you do. So you're a joy. Do you really know how to ride a horse like that, or did you learn how to do it for the film? Because that horse riding scene is nuts, girl.
I knew it. I've been learning how to ride horses since I was 2 years old.
Wow. And how old are you right now, if I may ask?
I'm 19.
You're 19 years old, and when this film was being shot, you were like, what, 16 and a half? 17? 16. How do you not get terrified when you're on the set with like Manoj Bajpayee, you calling him Papa, and this is Mama, and this is Mohanji, and Ram is directing you? I mean, he's a 16-year-old, really. Like, he's fun and playful like that. But like, were you not just terrified out of your mind?
I was in awe of everyone, and I found out about this. I was just like, seriously, me? What? And then when I found out about the cast and everyone, I was just like, can I do this? But then Ram sir made me feel so confident. He's like, you got this. I got you through it. And with everyone on the set, I unfortunately did not get to share the screen with Ram. But with others, I truly, I was learning every single day.
Yeah.
Instead of just working for 3 months, I felt like I was in an acting school held by Ram sir and workshops with everyone. Just learning new things, awing everyone. Every shared screen was just a new experience. And I'm just so grateful to them. They made me fall in love with acting. I was a little bit annoying, but I'm getting better now.
You were a little bit annoying.
I used to ask so many questions because it was my first time on a set. So I used to annoy Ram sir and everyone else. What is that? What does that do? I was the cutest little... Thank you, guys.
I mean, Priyanka literally just said that she still asks a lot of questions when she's making films. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay to ask questions. Avan, hi yaar. Matlab, oh, what a cutie, Juju. आप कितने साल के थे when you were shooting? अभी कितने साल के हो?
English.
अच्छा, I'm so sorry. I apologize. My mistake. I apologize. How old are you now?
I'm now 11.
You're 11, and so you must have been 9 when you were shooting.
Yeah, I think so.
So 8.
I don't even know.
8 to 11. So did Ram just give you a handy cam, like a camera, and be like, go crazy, just shoot whatever you want, run around?
Basically, yeah. He just gave me a handicap, do whatever you want with it. I just went and did something with it.
So what
He
was
told me some instructions, so I just did that.
I mean, all films should just be made like that, right? Give cameras to all your actors and run around.
Not all films.
No, you're humble to be very good. Thank you very much. What was the most fun for you making this film?
Everything. Almost like everything. Every shoot was like a fun thing for me.
Was something hard to do? Did you find something really difficult to do?
Nothing.
Homework, huh? Keeping up with your homework.
Nothing that I can imagine.
Acha. Yeah. I mean, look at how he's shut me up in like 10 seconds, so I believe you.
His instincts were really sharp and it was amazing. He was just very, very, he was on.
Crazy on something.
Manoj, so what is it like working with child actors? Do you enjoy it? Is it harder? Is it easier? Manoj, I'm asking Papa now.
No, no, it's. You want to say something?
Sorry, Anna.
It was no, no. It was. It is always about listening to them, responding to them, and if you try to act smart and and do your thing, and expect them to do things the way you are thinking they should respond, then you are jacked completely. It's always when you're working with children, it's always better to just respond and react to what they are doing. So, and I've had my own experiences in theatre working with children. So that always helps when I'm working with them because they are better actors, unabandoned completely. So you are always learning and always cautious and alert when you're working with them. Yes, you are.
No, no, Aman, you're great. And I love your Sherwani. Ram, one last question to you before we open up to the audience. We'll take a couple of questions from the audience. When I met you in Berlin right after the film's world premiere, you said that the film is entirely open to interpretation. It's interpreted as you like when you're watching the film. And you said that there are some parts of the film that you yourself don't quite understand. But every time you watch the film, do you feel like you understand it better? Are those parts more clearer to you as the person who's made it?
I mean, it's like life, right? Do we know everything about life per se? And my films are all of my life. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I put everything I know, feel, think, like it's direct, like straight from the soul into like a glass which then is on a screen. So in that sense is what I meant. Like, yes, I keep discovering things. So from the exploration period prior, so like what I do is my process, I actually go to a place without a story. I let the story come to me from that place. So you're kind of like this passive lens that kind of lets life happen to you. And that continued into the writing of it. You start somewhere, you move somewhere, you keep yourself like really, really alert and open to whatever. So it leads you in a sense. So the script led me. Then on set we did the same thing. We're kind of just, we're being led by life. Same in the edit. It was such a incredible editorial journey and everything. So I don't know. Yeah. So basically, yes, I keep learning about it even now when it's complete. But that's more like just my attitude to life. Like it's just a way to grow. Like the goal of life should be growth, I believe. It doesn't matter where you are, but if you're growing, like that's all that matters. Like day by day, you align yourself to that goal. That's enough. Baby steps. So that process, yes. And so yes, and like there needs to be that little bit of mystery in the air always, especially in these inner journey things. It's part of it. So yeah, but yes, I think now I understand the film completely. Yes, and it is open to interpretation and it isn't. So that again is up to you. But if you know what I mean, yes, like there are like hints as to what happened. But it's up to how you're wired internally, how you want to take what I'm suggesting. So yes, the film belongs to each and every one of you.
And lastly, that little fairy / firefly who shows up right in the end, does it have hair? Is that a hairstyle I'm seeing on that little thing, or am I seeing something that's not there? Okay. Oh, okay. Alright.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, they have a little bit of hair now inside.
No, like it looked like it had a hairstyle like on top, like it had like a toupee situation going on. Pata nahi, bhai.